Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Teacher Jane and today we're going to be learning the CELPIP writing, the task 1, which is the letter writing. And shortly I'm going to have a learner that has already done the letter, and we're going to go through the letter and see what can be better and what kind of format we can use. So when you do have the CELPIP test, it'll be easier once you know the format. So the question and the situation the CELPIP test gives you, and the situation is this: you live in an apartment near a building site. Recently, the construction workers have begun working on the site from early every morning and continue until late in the evening. Their work disturbs you because it makes a lot of noise. And also, they give you 3 points to cover inside the letter. So you have to give information about where you live, describe the problem and how it affects you, and say how you think the owner could resolve the issue. So when we're going to be writing this letter, we're going to really try to assume and try to think that this is really happening to you. What are some situations in your mind that will disturb you if you're having this construction happening from early morning all the way to the evening? Really try to feel the situation, try to get some ideas in your mind, and then we can get started in the writing part. So if you're studying for the CELPIP writing, this class is great for you. Let's do it. So your letter is, go ahead and you can read, "Good morning, Mr. Smith."
Good morning, Mrs. Smith. Hope this mail finds you well.
Excellent, very good. So don't forget, good morning is just one, just don't forget to kind of write it into the proper structure. So first, "Good morning, Mr. Smith" should be one line. And "good morning," capital letter, right? So "Good morning, Mr. Smith," comma. The next line is "Hope this email finds you well." Perfect, one line. "Hope this email finds you well." And then you're starting your first paragraph, and your first paragraph is give information, right? So my name is?
My name is Rafaela, and I live on Tower 3, the one very close to the shopping center.
Okay, very good. So my name is Rafaela, and I live on Tower 3. So I live in Tower 3, the one very close to the shopping center. Okay, good. Is there anything else that you can say? So give information where you live, and it's a construction site. So what you want to do is you want to give the information and connect it to the information that they have given you. So you live in an apartment near a building site, and the construction workers have begun working on the site. So you just want to explain that information in the very beginning, because that's your first paragraph. So what can we write here? So my name is Rafaela, and I live in Tower 3, the one very close to the shopping center. What else can you say about the apartment building that's on the site? How is that connected to Mr. Smith? We can say, my name's Rafaela, and I live in Tower 3, which, and you don't say the one, but which is very close to the shopping center that your construction company is working on. So what you've done here is you've connected Mr. Smith to the apartment that you're living next to. So Tower 3 is good information, and shopping center is good information, but how is that connected to Mr. Smith? So if you get a letter like this, my first thing is, why are you telling me this? Okay. So you really have to, when you're writing the first paragraph, you really have to connect it's your introduction. So if it's an introduction, connected to the person that you're writing it to. Why are you telling this information? So if you just said, "Good morning, I live in Tower 3 and close to the shopping center," then I think, well, congratulations, why are you bothering me?
Okay.
Right? So you really need to kind of connect it. What's the connection? So you can say it in many different ways. Is there any other way that you can say it? So hope this email finds you well. It's beautiful. And so my name is ABCD. And is there something else that you can say that could be a little different? You don't even have to say Tower 3. You could say you're a resident, right? You can use I'm a resident in this. So you can use different vocabularies, but is there anything else that you can say in the first paragraph, which is kind of like your introduction paragraph?
Maybe just like tell why am I writing this email?
Sure. But before you write it, before you say it, you just want to give it a little introduction. So how would you do just an introduction? Like when I meet you, say, hi, Jane, my name is Rafaela. And then you say, I want English classes. But in the beginning, we have a little bit of that introduction. So is there anything else? I mean, we've already kind of did the first paragraph together, but is there anything else that you could say differently, just for you to kind of look at different angles of how you would say this?
The only thought that I have is like, my name is Rafaela, one of the residents of Tower 3.
Yeah, Tower, that's right, Tower 3, and keep going. So keep going with it. And I have a corner facing window that is,
location.
What's that?
Like specify the location, like.
Yeah, so I'm a resident in Tower 3. I live in an apartment that has windows facing the construction site, which your company is working on since April, or which your company has been working on since April. If you're going to put the month, then at least put since you've been working on it. So that's a great introduction. So always in your letter, always have a little bit of that introduction.
And it is, I live on an apartment?
I live in an apartment. I live in Tower 3. I'm a resident of ABC, and I live in wherever. So the second paragraph is about I'm writing in regards to, which is the problem. So the second paragraph focuses on exactly what the situation is, what the problem of this is about. And this even says in your CELPIP, describe the problem and how it affects you. So you can start with, I'm writing in regards to the construction which is being done across the way from my apartment. It has been a terrible and horrible situation for my family because, and you want to talk about because the construction starts early in the morning and it ends late at night. Maybe give an example. For example, the other day, the construction woke me up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I had to go to work. Really think about your life situation and what you would say in that moment. That perhaps you had to go to work and you couldn't concentrate on your work because the lack of sleep that you got the night before due to the construction that is non-stop and has been going on for the past 2 weeks. So when you talk about the problem and how it affects you, don't forget your concluding sentence. Your concluding sentence is just to summarize exactly what you've been talking about. So you could say that this situation has been terrible for you and your family. Or you could say, I would really like to find some type of a solution to this situation. Or you could just close it off by saying that I would really like to find a solution to this issue. And once we finish the second paragraph, which is your problem, the third paragraph is you want to figure out how to find a solution or resolve this problem. And here it says, say how you think the owner could resolve the issue. So I'm wondering if it's possible to figure out a fixed schedule and some arrangement for it to benefit the community as a whole. That's fine. You can definitely say something like that. Whatever it is that you say, your English is amazing. So it's just kind of organizing your ideas and really putting it into a sentence where you're giving direction of what you want to happen. Okay, so I'm wondering if it's possible to do this. And then you can also say, in this way, I believe the neighborhood would be able to at least plan the day accordingly, which is great English, right? So if we have this fixed schedule, so I'm wondering if it's possible to have this construction team to arrange a fixed schedule, and in this way, our neighborhood would be able to at least plan the day accordingly with our meetings, and other residents can discuss. And residents discuss the issue if you prefer. I see. Like you want to have like a town, like a meeting, like a neighborhood meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Well, then you could say that we can plan our day accordingly, and if you want to add more information, you could put also. So also is your connected word. Also, if you prefer, we could arrange a meeting with other residents to discuss this issue on how to coexist with living near a construction site, living near your construction site, as well as meeting the deadlines that you're responsible for, right? Like you could kind of explain that. And so then you put sorry to bother you, but I really appreciate your understanding. So in this situation, sorry to bother you, we actually, we say that in more conversation rather than writing. You could say in a letter, I hate to bother you, however, instead of I'm writing in regards to, so I hate to bother you, however, we've been experiencing a huge construction problem next to our apartment building. So you want to explain the problem in the second paragraph. But in this situation, you were actually very reasonable. You said, I understand that you have this situation, but we really have to fix this, and we can meet with the residents, or you can give us a fixed schedule so we can schedule things around. And so now that you've stated everything, you're kind of closing. We kind of want, how in the beginning you put, I hope this email finds you well. So it's kind of like the same thing as you just kind of want to do closing. So you could say your attention in this matter is greatly appreciated. So rather than just kind of opening another topic and saying, about the appreciation, but you could just, rather than saying sorry, but your attention in this matter is greatly appreciated. And then please don't hesitate, right? Please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any further questions or concerns. Okay guys, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more content just like this, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Let me know if there's any English questions that you may have. Thanks for watching. See you later.